This is the third activity of week 2 winter 2026 course in CAD. I want to create a shape like that, which is actually, you can see that there's something called a spiral. And once I create that spiral in 2D as a curve in space, for example, then I can draw a, a circle uh, and then ribbon along that spiral. Okay. Now, this is the baby version of it. So first I'll show you this, although we did this thing in class, but I'll show you. And then I'm going to, instead of doing this problem, I'm going to try to use a spiral, which actually cannot be found in part design. You can go and get it in generative shape design, for example. So dimensions are not relevant here. First, let me do this top one. I'm going to come back and clean it up. So for example, on that plane, I will, let me see, on that horizontal plane, I will sketch. I'll sketch a circle. This is the thing that I want to essentially rip or sweep or, yeah, along a different curve. So on that vertical plane, I will sketch a path, for example, like this. Exit. And now notice that I have something called rip, saying what is the profile? This is the profile. And what is it that I want to sweep or rip along this? So you get that. So if instead of that inverted L, I did a spiral, the same thing is going to work. Okay. So let me go ahead and delete these things. I'm going to delete this. All right. On this horizontal plane, I would like to draw that spiral. Okay, so let me go to generative shape design. So we go to generative shape design. We're going to spend about 2 weeks on generative shape design, but later in the course. Okay, maybe in 2 weeks, not today. The only thing that I need is this particular feature. And I'm going to create a point, right, just for the sake of well, on the XY plane. Actually, let me make it at 0, 0, 0. Let me do that at 0, 0, 0. How about that? Good. Now, uh, let me also draw a line, a line in this plane. So, for example, a line like that. Doesn't have to pass through that. You'll see why in a minute. So if you look at the wireframe toolbar right here, if you open it up, you see a bunch of things, and one of them is the spiral. If you click on the spiral, it's asking you to select the support. In other words, this two-dimensional curve that you're going to create, in what plane does it reside? In my case, I want it to reside in this XY plane. So what is the center point? The center point, I'm going to select that point. This point could have been anywhere just in that plane, except that I decided to use 0, 0, 0 because 0 is easy. And then what is the reference direction? This is the reference direction. Notice that what it does, it actually creates something. And when it creates it, it looks like it's drawing something parallel to that. I mean, that's why I say it doesn't matter where you draw that. Now, also it says start radius right now. Start radius is 0. Watch what happens when I make the start radius bigger. See this? Now it's 7. And for example, this is the end radius, which right now is 10. If I make this thing bigger, the end radius is going to get bigger. You can see that right here. This right now is 23, 23. And how many revolutions do I want in there? Let's make it 3. There. So basically, I've created a two-dimensional curve which is the spiral. Now I want to draw something here perpendicular to it and then rivet. So how do I do this? One way is, well, obviously, since I'm going to be talking about the solid part, I have to go to mechanical design, part design. That's where I have ribbing operation. I'm going to create a plane, and this plane is going to be normal to a curve. What is the curve? There is the curve, the spiral. Where is the point? Right there. And in it, I'm going to draw a circle, just like I did it for the baby version. And then I'm going to rip. Okay, I think it's this point. Is that right? Yeah, it's that point. So I'm going to draw a circle in that plane, like this, exit, and I'm going to do rip. What is the profile? The profile is the circle. What is the center curve? Is that spiral that I drew right there. All right. So this take care of your activity 3. Now remember, this spiral could have been drawn in any plane. It just happened to be XY that I selected. Any plane, put a point on it, have a direction on it, have a line on it, and then you can draw the spiral. Good. That's pretty much it. Good luck.